stay with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, or if there's any change there?
Yeah, we're still going through that process. I mean, got a couple more hours. See how it's going.
Any updates on Josh Jacobs or Colton?
No, these guys coming in at 9. I would assume Colton's not going to be able to play.
Obviously, you said you haven't made a decision on Aiden. I want to talk about play calling. Do you expect there to be some differences in how that goes about?
Well, I just like for us to stick to the script. You know, we got a plan. Got to stay with it. Can't get frustrated. Got to be patient. That goes for all of us. But, you know, there's times where, you know, there's rough moments. We all see them. And you just got to fight through them and stay on track. That's the biggest thing I've talked to the coordinators about, the coaches, the players, and myself. Just here's the plan, stick with it, regardless of how it looks, and then we'll make the adjustments accordingly.
You talked about the team staying together. Since you've had a chance to talk to them a couple times this week, how have you felt their attitudes have been towards, you know, especially after the loss on Sunday, moving forward now?
Yeah, really odd situation, to be honest. I mean, we lost 3 games, right? But the locker room, the building doesn't feel that way. Purpose is still there. The energy is still there. The concentration, the 1-2 is still there. The guys are believing. We had 2 good walkthroughs, the best we can do with that. But, you know, that's kind of how it's been, to be honest, since day one. Results haven't been there like we want. We're going to keep fighting for that. And, you know, this week, you know, you got to finish. Got to finish in the fourth quarter. You know, our 3 losses, talked about it the other day, been right there. We got to finish in the fourth quarter.
Monday, you talked about collecting game film on Easton Stick to take a look at him. Now that you have looked at him, what are you seeing from him that maybe is a little bit different from Justin Herbert?
He is a savvy player. I mean, I think at the end of the day, whenever you get a guy who hasn't played a lot in the NFL, you don't know what to expect in that first game. But, you know, with a short week, I don't think he's going to have the whole playbook. Talked about that already. But he has a strong arm, has some athleticism. You got to be smart. You saw right away they was able to take shots with him down the field, so they're comfortable with him throwing the ball down the field. And they got good receivers. They got a good core group of guys around them. I'm sure they're not going to make it extremely difficult. Get the ball out of his hand and allow the running game to take course.
You have a couple guys who have been around him quite a bit. I know Jerry Tiller was a rookie with him. DeAndre, I think, was with him for a little bit. So do you pick their brains a little bit, find out what they know?
Yeah, we do. And we did that. And, you know, at the end of the day, when you got a top 10 quarterback, there's not really much to talk about with the backup.
I know a lot inevitably comes down to Josh's status, but going down the stretch of the season here, would you like to see Zamir White get some more opportunities in the running back?
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, if Josh Jacobs is ready to go, it's a Josh Jacobs show. You know, let's not get fooled by that one. But you'd definitely like to see Zamir get in there. If there's an opportunity this week or going forward, any chance we can to see some of these younger players play, I mean, that's a benefit for us in our future.
You mentioned that, you know, you still have a couple hours to think about the quarterback. What's that going to come down to, a gut feeling, or how would you say the principal decision-making is going to come?
Yeah, I mean, I never said Aiden wasn't a starter. Let's say that first and foremost. You're asking me a question. I kind of just answered, like, we're still evaluating. If there's a chance to get better, a chance to improve, a chance to put us in position to win, and we got to look at all the factors that go into that. I mean, just making decisions based off media, a loss, you know, a bad, ugly performance, that's not how you do things in the National Football League. That's not how you run business. Maybe other people do. AP doesn't, and the Raiders are not going to do that. We're going to do whatever it takes to put ourselves in position to win. And after today, we'll have a better answer to that this evening.
Coach, when you look at Marcus Epps, another LA area guy like yourself, what's been your relationship like with him, and how would you evaluate him as a leader?
It's interesting. So I was at Long Beach Poly as a head coach when he was in high school, so familiar with Marcus. My son was at Boise State, played against Marcus when he was at Wyoming, so I followed Marcus and then obviously saw him when he was with the Eagles. Good relationship there. I mean, we have a lot of side conversations before this even took place. A guy who's really came in and brought that mature and winner leadership mentality into our room, into our defense, and really our whole locker room. I mean, you appreciate the maturity that he has, the professionalism that he has, and how he approaches each and every day.
Obviously, it's all about wins and losses, but you look at your defense, and you guys are now the 9th-ranked defense in the NFL in points given up per game.
Yep.
A, how much pride do you take in that, and B, what would you say the key to that has been this year?
Yeah, a lot of pride in that. I mean, I'm a defensive guy. You love that. You love to see how these guys perform, fight, the energy, the way they play, the passion. I mean, you remember one of my first speeches was, can we match Max Crosby's energy, his effort? And I think you're starting to see that. Robert Spillane's right there with him. You know what I mean? Jack Jones coming in. You see Nate Hobbs. You know, all these guys really picking up. Tyree Wilson the last couple of weeks really picking it up. Malcolm Kuntz. I mean, I can go on and on. Team defense, though, right? So Patrick Graham's done a great job of dialing it up. I mean, you've seen different looks by us. 4 DNs out there, a little bit more man coverage, more press. I mean, it's there to see. And these guys are bought in, and they understand, listen, you know, it's been a rough stretch for offense. We get it. And it's a team effort. You need your special teams to play well. You need your defense to play well. And we're going to keep grinding with our offense. And at some point, boom, it'll click. It did it for us in the Giants game. At some point, there will be an explosion. We got really good football players. We need to execute at a higher level. But when you see your defense go out there and perform the way they're doing, giving us opportunities to win games and keep us in games, that makes you very proud. And, you know, this organization, I know, that loves to score points. But, damn it, you know, you win championships with defense.
Hey, Pete, you've talked about winning, learning how to win. And I'm curious, a lot of coaches who've won big, you have as a Super Bowl, talk about players learning how to win. Yeah. How hard is that as a person who's proven to be able to win at the highest level to teach that?
Yeah, the strain, man, the strain. Each and every day, you know, good, the bad, the ugly. You just come in with that mentality just to work. I told our guys this, you know, it doesn't matter what you do each and every day. It's not what we're capable of doing, it's what we're willing to do. You know, it's that strain of, and I said it before, that winning stamina. You know, just to walk in the building and forget yesterday. And listen, Sunday was a hard day. It took me, I ain't gonna lie, it took me 36 hours to forget about that day. It was tough. But then you say, what I got going for? What am I looking forward? And we talked about that as a team. And what you try to do is just keep giving them something to look forward to, right? And the greatest opportunity that we have in front of us is playing at home, in front of our home crowd, against a divisional opponent that neither one likes each other, and to get back on the winning track.
Last time you guys faced the Chargers, Khalil Mack had 6 sacks, and he said afterwards that there weren't a lot of chips or double teams. What's your recollection of that day, and what was a different plan this week as far as going against Khalil?
Yeah, no, well, we're going to have to do more than we did last time. You know, he likes playing against the Raiders. We know that. He has really good games against the Raiders. But I'll tell you what, Germaine has done a really good job for us at right tackle. Last week against Lil Hunter, he did a good job. And, you know, maybe that first matchup didn't go our way. You know, I wasn't part of that game plan, but I think the focus and the energy and what our O-line and our staff has put together, hopefully is a plan that works. Obviously, we can't hold on to the ball. There's got to be an internal clock in our quarterback's head to get rid of the football as well when you got an elite pass rusher to our right. But it's going to be a team effort. But Germaine is really up for the task. He's excited about it. I mean, the way he's worked just in a walkthrough mode is a guy that's ready to go. I'm excited to watch.
When it comes to Tyree, it seemed like he was lining up all over the place, and there was a couple times he was even standing up over the center. How much does that unlock his potential when he's able to go in different spots and not just stick on one end?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't part of that process when we drafted him, but when he got here, the first thing I saw was Justin Tuck, a guy that I played with. And Tuck, his biggest success, his most success was when we moved him inside and moved him around the line of scrimmage, up and down. And I think you see that. If you've watched the last couple of weeks, we've moved him all over the field like you just talked about, Paul. And that's to his benefit. He's going to be a really good defensive end in this league. But right now, what we got with Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz coming along, to put your 3 best pass rushers out there in the league that's throwing the ball all over the park, it's a benefit for the Raiders.
You mentioned Germaine. In the past, when Colton's been out, Jermaine's gone to the left. Last week, he stayed on the right. Thayer went to the left. I guess what went into that decision-making process?
Well, yeah, Germaine early on, I had a good discussion with him about moving to the left, and he did it. I don't think, it wasn't something he was really, at the time, happy about, but he did it for the team, and I appreciate that. But as we look forward, and with Colton being out the last few weeks, Jermaine's really comfortable on the right side. You had Daniil Hunter last week, got Khalil Mack this week on that right. And he's been playing the most consistent football since I've taken over, in my opinion. And he's physical. He plays nasty. He's a big body. He's looking forward to the challenge. And then you got Thayer on the other side. Thayer played left tackle at Ohio State. And I thought he did a really good job. Obviously, he's a guy that, is a road blocker, as far as his style of play. The biggest thing, though, is about continuity. You don't want to just keep shuffling guys right and left. It's not easy to go from right tackle to left tackle in the National Football League, and we're fortunate Germaine can do that.
Andre got banged up last week. Where is he, and then how comfortable are you, I guess, with Dylan at center?
Yeah, well, these guys coming in 9 o'clock. We'll figure out a little bit more about Andre. He's a tough guy. He wanted to come back in the game even late in the fourth quarter. But I thought Dylan did a really good job stepping in. Probably one miscue with the snap late in the game. But other than that, I thought he did a really good job of, last second kind of going in and ready to play.
Good.
Oh, that's good. Time.